Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Everybody, welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Monday. We are so glad that you've joined us out there. Our program brought to you by Sensagreen for air that is warm and clean today. It is freezing outside. So Sensagreen for air that's warm and clean and cool and clean in the spring and the summer. Call them Sensagreen. They are the carrier dealers here in the state of Alabama and proud supporters of the Auburn Blitz podcast here and show. Also, we want to thank J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation. J.A. Smith Construction, no job is too big or too small. They handle all the pre-site work for you in your construction project. They'll help you out, residential, commercial. No job too big or too small. Call them J.A. Smith Construction. Brett and Randy here with you for your lunch hour. Good to see you, Randy. A lot to dive into here on the show today. And we'll start with Auburn basketball, obviously with one of the largest wins we've had in a while, and no doubt it's the biggest win for Stephen Pearl in his infant career as a head basketball coach. Go on the road, beat your best friend in his place. So I know that Todd Golden wasn't very happy after the game, but I'm sure they talked, and it's just that competitive spirit right there in the moment. But those two guys go at each other, but they're very, very close. They are very, very good friends, and they do support each other in each other's programs. But the storyline was how Auburn played and defensively went down to Gainesville and really put the clamps on a very good Florida basketball team. And that is where Auburn basketball makes its money, man. That's playing good, solid, intense defense. They didn't get this effort really at the beginning of the season into the first part of the SEC schedule, but the last three games, this has shown up, and I hope it stays around.
Well, and for whatever reason it didn't show up, I'm sitting on the side to say the reason it didn't show up to begin with is it's a completely new roster learning to play together, and communication's not going to be as good as it's going to be later in the season as you get moving on. And look, Brett, the two games last week, Auburn gave up, 66 points on the road earlier in the week. And great outing going into that ball game. Andy and I talked about it. May have been me and Jim talking about it. But Auburn was giving up right at 79 points per game before that one. And then you get what you got on Saturday. So that's two back-to-back, both of them on the road, both of them wins. And differing ways that they got it done, Brett. I thought that, living and playing with the game plan that is put in front of you is important in basketball. And over the years, Bruce Pearl and this staff, all of this staff, including Stephen, have been able to put game plans together that expose the weakness of the teams that we're playing. And buddy, it was a thing of beauty on Saturday.
It definitely was. We'll dive into the box score here. First things first, I did a post-game show after the game, and things that stood out to me, I kind of went through those. First off, you get off to a really, really good start on the road. That always helps. When you can get out to a good start, you ran away from Florida a little bit. You knew they were going to come back. You knew they were going to make a run. They did. They tied the game up, thought they had the lead on a goaltend. It got reversed. It was a clean block. I thought that was the turning point. With 7 minutes to go in the game, Florida had fought back, looked like they had taken a 58-56 lead, and they didn't. So Auburn goes back down, scores, and goes back up 2. And the only lead Florida had in that game was 3-2 early in the game. And so the silver lining in this, obviously the going on the road winning against Florida is the most important thing. But the silver lining is you took 2 or 3 punches to the jaw, and you withstood them in a hostile environment, a place you ain't won in 30 years, and you figured out a way to hold on and win the game. And that's important, and I think that should be said, that you get off to a big lead, that teams are going to come back. How do you respond? And this Auburn team responded well.
Well, it didn't let it come back also to where at the end of the ball game you had to hit a shot to win it, or you had to get the game into overtime like we did against Georgia to win it. Ran it back up. Once you let them back in it, you run it right back up. And, what does that say about Auburn basketball to you that we're able to, both of these games this week, run out to massive leads, that we're able to run out to a massive lead at home against Texas A&M? Did we sustain it? No, but I mean, it takes talent. It takes, at times, offensive explosion to run up those scores like we have. But we've been able to do that, Brett. It's not just hang in there, just see if we can get it to the end of the game, and then see if we can find a way for Keyshawn Murphy to make a shot. Anybody that goes back and watches that A&M game can tell that we had that thing under control until we got winded. And A&M and Bucky McMillan does what he does. He just wears you down mentally and physically until they hit you on a little 1.5, 2 minute spurt where 11 points is thrown on the board, and you're like, what just happened to my 16-point lead? It's gone. But we're not the only one he's done that to, is my point. If it was just us, he's doing it just about everybody.
He's an overtime loss away at Tennessee from being undefeated right now. I mean,
yes.
And they kind of let that one get away from them. Yeah. They had a lead, and Tennessee was able to get that thing to overtime and beat them. But yeah, he's spectacular right now. I don't care what anybody says. He is, and he's setting the woods on fire. And but you're right. It says a lot about Auburn. I think it says a lot that you're doing this and you're really not shooting threes well.
No, it's not shooting it well at all.
Yeah. This was the better of the games we've shot threes. Only made 5, but only shot 15. And I think maybe that's the deal. Maybe more designed plays for threes rather than coming down, jacking up a bunch of threes like we've been known to do. You look at Florida, they made 7, but they shot 27, and they shot poorly from the free throw line, which was another key element in this game. And you look at it, when Florida shoots 59% from the free throw line, Auburn shoots 90%. 19 and 21, they shot free throws against Ole Miss very well. We talked about this the other day, points in the paint. Well, free throws count as points in the paint because you're driving the basket, getting fouled, or you're getting rebounds, getting second chance points. And, one of the things that we've struggled with around here for a while is free throw shooting, but that's improved. The defense has improved, and you're seeing the results from both.
Well, and you get, it may not be every game, but about every other game, Keyshawn Hall, by far the best player on the court.
There's no question about it, man.
He goes for 22 points in the first half. He didn't have to do much in the second.
He only had 2 in the second, yeah. But
Auburn found ways to score buckets without him. Keyshawn Murphy playing at a higher level than I ever expected him to, Brett. I mean, he's a double-double machine right now, and it's not 12 and 11. I mean, it's more of the 16 to 18 to 10 to 11. I mean, he's getting well into double digits, and that's helped. And Tahad seems to be finding his way. He's not Braden Smith. He's not a distributor. No. If anything, I think Tahad's in a situation where he's having to play the point when I'm not sure that his overall skill set's set for the point guard. But he's doing a great job. He can handle the ball. He doesn't distribute the ball quite as well as a great point guard would, but he can go get a shot anytime down the court, and his athleticism's through the roof. So defensively, though, I think is where you started this show, Brett, and that's where we can kind of end this segment is if Auburn plays defense like they did during a 10-year stretch with Bruce Pearl, Stephen Pearl, Ira Bowman, this entire staff, to where we consistently hold SEC opponents to mid-60s in scoring, Brett, we're going to win an awful lot of basketball games because I don't think we're anywhere near to our ceiling this year offensively, but we're moving there. We're doing it different than we've done it in the past, but you can see the development, can't you? And a number of players playing way better than we saw them play earlier in the year.
Yeah, no doubt. I think some comments over here. I'll get to Jake's and JJ's comments here in just a minute, but Patrick said should have beaten Houston, Georgia, and A&M right there. One possession, had a shot to beat Houston, lost in overtime to Georgia, lost in overtime or lost at the end of the game to A&M on a buzzer beater that, we made it, whatever. It's late. Shouldn't have come down to that. I've been through that a million times. But there's also games that we've won. People go, well, you shouldn't have won. I know they kind of even out, Patrick, but I'm with you. I mean, that's 3 more wins there if you just handle your business, really. You have those teams where you wanted them and you didn't finish, and that's part of it. Hopefully that's a learning thing. And then also put on defensive clinic against Florida. Maybe this is that game that you look at here. We got a couple minutes left this first segment. This is that game you look back and go, that's when Auburn clicked. That's when they figured out what they can do and how they can go out. I thought it was the Arkansas game, and then, of course, they come back and the next week, and I was like, well, never mind. But, the Auburn has shown that they can score 93 and they can score a bunch of points when they need to, but they can also put the clamps on and get in that rock fight type game and win a 70-something to 60-something game. You got to be able to be versatile, man, depending on who your opponent is.
Well, I tell you what, we're doing way better than I expected rebounding the basketball. We're not anywhere near the size we've been in the past, but the guys play physical in the post. And it's not only the bigs that we have, it's the guards. Getting in there, getting key rebounds. I like the dynamic of this team. I wish we had a couple of more pieces. It's easy to sit here right now and say, I wish we had a couple more pieces, but I do think that we're a couple of pieces from being a Sweet 16 team. We may sneak our way into being a Sweet 16 team, even with this squad. But, man, if you had one more big and Yoxel or somebody like that, which is –
Did you hear Jason this morning? Did you hear Jason this morning on our show?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No.
It's a good segue into what I want to talk about. You led into that perfectly. We got to get to our first break here on the show for TV. We'll stay up, obviously, on social media and YouTube. But, again, we're here each and every day at noon. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
L&M Pawn and Gun, located in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, is East Alabama and West Georgia's complete gun, tactical, and pawn shop. It invites the region to shop over 500 firearms in stock, on the floor, and ready for sale at the market's best values. At L&M Pawn and Gun, we specialize in all tactical guns, equipment, and parts, including AK-47 and AR-15s. Specialized parts for tactical guns as well as suppressors and other parts you can't find anywhere. L&M Pawn and Gun has it all in the USA Factory Stores in Opelika, or shop online, lmpawnandgun.com.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
there's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Visit our new locations in Gadsden and Oxford today.
At Glenn Smith Chevrolet, let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Chevy Traverse with 3-row seating up to $7,250 off. The impressive Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime at your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. 45 minutes left on our show today, and we appreciate all of you out there. Again, always doing our disclaimer. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go do that. Hit the like button. It helps us out tremendously. And all of our podcasts that are out, you can get them out in podcast world now, whether it be Apple. I had somebody this weekend tell me, man, thank God y'all are finally on the podcast. They're like, I listen to y'all now going up the road. And so, yeah, we're glad to be on those now. So if you get it by Amazon or Apple or iHeart or wherever it is that you get it, Pandora, Spotify, we're out there for you to pick that up. And I'll make sure that's loaded every single morning. So go check that out. So we appreciate all our partners, Sensor Green and J. Smith Construction here on this show. Very, very much appreciative of all the people that support us out here. All right, so going back, talking, we got a lot that we're going to dive into here, but you were bringing up the point about the budget for the team. And Jason, I thought on the podcast this morning, which you can go back and listen to, guys, like we just said, or watch on our YouTube channel. I thought he had a good point. Auburn had to fill almost a full roster. He had everybody leave. They had one guy return, Todd Pettiford, and his deal went up because you went out and re-signed, at the time, everybody still feels like one of the top guards in the country. And to get him to not go to the NBA. And he had a good combine, and it was iffy if he was going to come back or not. But Auburn coerces him to come back. I think it comes down, Randy, from basically what Jason's saying is here's what each college sets as a budget every year. Now, whether that goes up or down, whatever, that has to be negotiated. But I kind of take it as the budget I was given when I was a CAC. We all had to go fight for our budget, each department. And, of course, we all want as much as we can get. And the business office gave us X number of dollars, and I had to make it work, man. I could go in there and cry a little bit and try to get some more to spend, but sometimes they'd give me a little bit, but most times they wouldn't. I think it comes down to, and I don't know what that number is, Auburn's basketball program has this much money every year. And whether you got 11 players to go get or 3 or 4, here's what you got. So you got to make it work. That's why you and I were talking about the GM position, how important it is to be able to go out and figure out how to do all that.
Well, I would love to see where we stack up with what everyone else in the SEC spending. My guess is we're getting way more with less than some of the other programs in the SEC. Now, does it mean that we can at some point in time spend like money to them? Maybe.
What did Kentucky spend on their roster? $20 million?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think we spent on this one? Less than 10?
I was going to say probably 10 to 11 because of Tahad.
Yeah, and that would mean him getting 2.
Because I think Keyshawn garnered – I mean, Keyshawn was probably one of the top guys in the portal for a lot of people. And
I think he's probably a 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just guessing. But I would guess that the top 3 or 4 teams in the SEC, we may be half of what they spent. And it may not even be 3 or 4. It may only be but you think we come in about middle of the pack with what we spent?
I would say, about 8, somewhere around in there.
Well, buddy, we get a lot more out of that 8 than a lot of the teams that are sitting there in the middle of the pack with us. So I can't say enough good things about this staff. And I keep saying this staff because it's Bruce Pearl's staff. I mean, Stephen's Bruce Pearl's staff. He's a head man now, but the rest of them are still there, Brett. And a lot of the credit's always been given to Ira and some others on development of players. And where we have complained over and over again about the lack of development for football players at Auburn, we can't say that for basketball. You can watch us year in and year out, man. Start of the season, whatever you feel like our weaknesses are by the end of the season, they're not. And that says a lot about the coaching that we're getting.
Oh, there's no question about it. I think that was probably the biggest part of hiring Stephen was retaining the staff. And it was made mention by John Cohen that we wanted to keep the upheaval to a dead minimum if possible in this coaching change because of the timing, because I think he made that comment verbatim and said that was the key is that you keep all these coaches and you're changing the head guy, but from a continuity standpoint from the players and all, Faith asked Elijah Freeman straight up in her interview last week about that. She said, how was your reaction when you found out, Bruce was leaving and Stephen was becoming, the head coach? And he said, well, it took a little bit of, because those guys wanted to play. It's kind of like guys that went to Alabama that want to play for Nick Saban. Nick Saban says, hey, guys, I'm leaving. And you go, whoa, that's a letdown. Definitely it's not a cut on Stephen, but it was a letdown, for some of those guys that were expecting to come in and play under him, who's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. And then you don't get this opportunity. You have to take a little bit of time to kind of let that soak in. But he was like, hey, I love Stephen. I love the coaching staff. And, I think once the initial shock wore off, that's why all of them stayed. They had an opportunity to go get in the portal, although it was a very short amount of time. And a lot of teams already had their rosters, and it was kind of a late deal. But they still did have the opportunity to leave if they wanted to, and none of them did.
Says a lot. And, we're midway through this SEC schedule, and all signs point to Auburn going to be in the mix at the end. I mean, if we play as well, again, 2 games on the road.
I don't think this team's going to collapse for sure.
I don't either. I think they're getting better. And I think if they start hitting shots, because it's not like this team doesn't have good outside shooters. I think Keyshawn Hall's not shooting it as well as we saw him shoot it from the perimeter earlier in the year.
Right.
Tahad, I don't know the reason there. Maybe it's just everything, just so much responsibility weighing on him with the ball handling and all that goes with that. But I watched this team, and I had a question a little bit earlier about Simon Walker and his inability to get out there on the court. Maybe it's just a little early for him to find his way, but he's a big time high school shooter. Huntsville High, Tennessee had an offer for him. I think he was committed to Tennessee, if memory serves me right, for quite a while. It wasn't like Auburn just came in late due to how good of a player he was on the AAU circuit and offered to him, but he really just hasn't found his way into the lineup. And being the shooter that he is, maybe by the end of the year he will give you 7 or 8 minutes and knock down some of these shots. Because, Brett, that is the only thing that I look at and say would keep us from getting to an SEC championship caliber team is our inability to knock down 12 to 14 3-pointers when needed. Doesn't mean we're going to need them every night, but there is going to be some of these games where
you can't just
hit. You're going to be playing, is going to be shooting it well, and you got to stay with them.
Yeah, you just can't hit 2. You know, you got to do better than that.
Or even 5. Five's not necessarily the number that we're seeing winning basketball teams shooting.
But that was just that was so much better than 2. I know it's only 3 more, but it was enough in that style game where you were 33%. You were 1 out of every 3 that you shot, you hit, which was the efficiency. You didn't waste possessions with a bunch of crazy shots. All right, we're up against another break here on the show. Again, we appreciate all of you so much that find us each and every day. A lot more to come here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Looking for hometown service and name brands you can trust? Come to Presley Appliance and Furniture. From the best choice in appliances from Whirlpool, Maytag, Amana, and KitchenAid to home furnishings, Presley's is your one-stop shop for comfort and quality. And now we've added the Mattress Shop by Serta Simmons Bedding and top quality sheets and pillows from Caraloha. Shop Presley Appliance and Furniture on Cherokee Road in Alex City or online at PresleyAppliance.com. That's PresleyAppliance.com.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Henderson & Coker is a premier custom general contractor located in central Alabama. With over 50 years of industry experience, Henderson & Coker has been crafting stunning custom residential and commercial spaces for families and businesses throughout Alabama and Georgia. If you're in the market for a top-of-the-line luxury home or specialized commercial work, contact the experts at 256-750-7383 and check them out on the web at hendersonandcoker.com.
On to the Auburn Blitz, halfway through our show, brought to you by J. Smith Construction and Excavation. No job is too big or too small. Make sure you call on them for all your construction needs, and Sensagreen for air that is warm and clean right now. Call on Sensagreen. They are the carrier experts, proud supporters of Auburn Athletics and the Auburn Blitz podcast and show. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. It is 12:30 on the dot, and it is always Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, our post-game show sponsor. Kathy, I had to jump on Saturday and give you a bonus show, okay? Because when you go 30 years, I remember 1996. I remember a lot about 1996, and I don't look the same. Randy and I don't look the same as we did in 1996. Randy was still in high school in 1996. I had graduated by then, so I was my first year in college. So it's hard to believe it had been all the way back to then since Auburn had knocked off Florida in Florida. But speaking of that, I had to jump on doing a post-game show, but Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine are such a great partner of ours here on our program, and we can't thank them enough. Love going on location there. Love doing all the things that we do, and it's all possible because of Kathy and her staff and Jeff and everybody. So we appreciate them so very much. Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Check them out in Montgomery and in Auburn. All right, Ed had some interesting stuff over here talking about Kentucky, Arkansas. We don't see Florida in there. Yeah, he said Florida and Auburn are tied at 9. So I was close. I said 8. And so Auburn and Florida sitting there tied at 9. Florida is your defending national champs, and they're down at midway part of the deal. And they went out and got Boogie Flan, which I thought was a big deal.
Kept Condon.
Yeah, kept Condon. They got some guys
I'm shocked. I'm shocked their numbers not higher. But
again, I think it boils down. It's crazy what these schools put. How they want to allocate this money, man.
Well, but more important though, if you look at that. Auburn and Florida playing in the Final Four last year. Both losing players, but Auburn losing more. Florida did keep a couple of key pieces there on that roster that they didn't lose last year. But, man, we're getting more with less. And I'm not saying that we're underspending. Don't skew me in that direction. But I do think you need to look and say it's like watching Kentucky over the years and thinking – they should be better. Well, why should they be better? Well, because they're the blue blood in this conference, and they outspend all of us. And they get the best players, and they have a limitless budget, it feels like, with what they're able to spend on the roster. So I agree with that. But when you look at Auburn and Florida, Brett, even after a championship season and a Final Four berth, not anybody in this conference playing any better than the two of us right now.
No.
A&M beat us, but you can have an argument back and forth on whether they really did or not. Auburn was their equal that night, and the OT loss to Georgia, and then that upsetting last-second made shot that didn't go in Auburn's direction has Auburn. Yeah, you have a couple of those things go their way, and we're right there at the top of the SEC too. So again, you can't say enough good things about what Auburn's done in basketball.
And again, strategically, this may be what they wanted to do, but next year, Auburn may go in the portal and get the top guy. You just never know from year to year.
Yeah.
The biggest name guy out there may be at Auburn next year. I think Auburn, I'm with you. I think they're not underspending, and I don't think they're not putting priority. Don't misunderstand that. Don't think they're not putting priority on the basketball program. Does everybody want unlimited funds? Of course they do. Does everybody want to go get the top 5 guys in the portal every year and bring them in? Hell yeah, they do. Kentucky just spent $20 million. Look at their results right now. Sometimes it don't work out. We've had a chemistry problem a little bit up until lately, which I think the team had to kind of work its way through. When you have turnover like this and you have a bunch of new guys coming in, you got to give everybody a minute, to kind of settle in. And, some of these guys have known each other for a few months, and that's it. And they're expected to go out and compete and do that. You see what Auburn was able to do with a veteran team last year. You saw what San Diego State was able to do a couple of years ago with a veteran team that's had a bunch of guys that have stuck around. if you can do that, obviously that is the blueprint. You want to do that. You want to keep older guys and you want to keep them through your program, but that's just not the world we live in. So every blue moon, when you're able to do that, you're probably going to have success. If not, you're going to have to be able to go out, do the best you can in the portal, get a bunch of guys in, and get the team chemistry together as fast as you can.
Well, and it's a good segue over to football and what we're doing in the portal there. And I think we're going old, especially on the lines of scrimmage. Auburn's got a number of offensive linemen that have got
19 offensive linemen on the roster now.
Yeah, and you know, I would say 3 or 4 of those guys that you got coming in only got 1 year left. So they're coming in expecting to play. And the coaching staff wouldn't make that offer if they didn't expect them to play because there's no development time with those. And so I love the direction. I mean, Indiana, if you heard them, it was a lot like listening to everyone that wanted to throw darts at Auburn last year, basketball-wise, about how old we were. And we were older than a lot of the NBA rosters and stuff. I meant, well, look, if you want to throw darts at me on a Final Four run and SEC championship, can we figure out how to do that every year? And I'm sure Indiana's saying the same, but it looks like Golish and staff are doing the same with what they're spending their money on in the portal too, Brett. It's not development that we're spending our money on. It's guys that we expect to come in and have already taken a lot of snaps, and we know exactly what we're getting.
Yeah, and he had to do it 100% this year because with the coaching change and so many leaving, 34 leaving, you had to go and only one portal window now. Again, remember that. That's been a change. There's no other portal window, so you needed to make your money now. You needed to make hay now. There is, I know maybe some more guys that can trickle in, but you had to get to work in a very small window of time and get a lot of guys in here to fill a lot of depth pieces, and they did that. So tip of the hat to them on that. All right, we're up against another break here on the show. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Auburn Blitz right after this.
I'm Joseph Dean with Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation in Dadeville. We're located at 16797 Highway 280, which is on the corner of 280 and 49 North. With an on-site crematory in Opelika and a cemetery in Tallapoosa County, we are a full-service funeral home. To get in touch with us, feel free to come by or call us, 256-750-0381. And for any other questions, you can visit the website at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
A fresh start begins at home. This new year, Dixie Electric Plumbing and Air is bringing comfort your way with maintenance inspections starting at just $29 and installations as low as $50 a month. Start the year right with Dixie.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Hi, I'm Abby Guy, Vice President at Riverbank and Trust. They say that most banks offer the same products, but Riverbank offers something most can't: personal connection. We love getting to know our customers by name and making them feel special with every interaction. It's a feeling of warm hospitality you won't find anywhere else. Experience it for yourself.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
The all-new Winter Timber is now open. Located right next to the Walmart Market across from the Auburn Mall. If the outdoors is your lifestyle, Winter Timber is your new headquarters. From rifles, ammo, and hunting supplies, camo, and all the outdoor essentials, they've got it in stock and ready for you. Winter Timber is here to serve Auburn, Opelika, and the entire Lake Martin area, and they'll make the drive worth it. For the best selection and the best service in outdoor gear, one name says it all: Winter Timber, the best in outdoor needs.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your vehicle or boat to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your boat or vehicle the right way. Located on Highway 63, just about 2 miles from Highway 280 in Alexander City, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Day, program brought to you by J. Smith Construction and Excavation and Sense of Green for air that's warm and clean. Call them Sense of Green. They are the carrier experts. Again, appreciate all of you out there. Some great points over here. It is all about managing money. It is about how you divide it up. I said that to start the show. You know, everybody wants the best players. Okay, everybody would like to go out and have, an unlimited way to go out and coerce the best ones to come to your school. That is not the case. Some are going to have more money than you, so you're going to have more money than others. So you got to figure out how to manage all that and figure out how that works. That's a huge part of the landscape of college athletics now, like it or not. That's what you got to do. You got to be good at it. You got to be good at managing your budget and getting the best out of that as possible. So with that being said, I want to go to another direction that we and again, we talked a little bit about it on the podcast this morning, but dadgum, man, the tampering that's going on in college athletics is at a fever pitch. And it's like Jason and I talked about, like, I don't even know what tampering is, because now LSU's accusing Auburn and another team of tampering with some of their guys. And it's like, man, well, what is tampering? You know, I don't – if the definition of tampering is what Ole Miss did to Clemson, like, you got a kid that's enrolled in school, he's in a class, you keep texting him, you keep up in the ante till you get him to leave the class and come to you. That's tampering. But who's in place to do anything about it? That's the biggest problem.
Well, you got to give me some specifics on LSU and what they're saying Auburn did.
I don't know. That was brought up this morning. We don't really know. We didn't even – I'm just saying, I think what it is people are just pointing fingers at everybody.
Well, I think they're pointing fingers at everybody because they should be pointing fingers at everybody.
Yeah.
I think that Dabo just had enough.
Well, you don't think it's funny, it's comical that Lane Kiffin or anybody at LSU would point a finger to anybody, because you don't think he's the poster child for tampering. I mean, it's everybody doing it to everybody.
Well, that would be my answer to it, is you may just have people finally have had enough. And Dabo made it, this politically correct society that we lived in 5 years ago is over. Now if you think something and it smells, then you've got the ability, or at least it feels like, to come out and say it. And maybe it took Dabo, Brett, to go, here is, I do too, man. I mean, here is a day and a time rundown of exactly how all of this played out. And
not speculation. Here it is.
You make your own decision on whether you think this is right or wrong. And, as more and more coaches are willing to come out and call out the fraternity of coaches that there are out there, even if they happen to have liked them at one point in time, I mean, if it's the day and age where you've got to go and do that, then you're going to see people. And if they happen to be talking about, and the reason I ask about Auburn, if they happen to be talking about your program, then you're going to get real defensive. You and I kind of end up in these same talks on the public and private side on the high school ranks. When they're talking about your program, you get real defensive. But if you were over on dealing with what they're dealing with, and a lot of this was, 7 or 8 years ago, when a lot of us would throw shade at private schools that would go out there, and we would know year in and year out they'd pull some of these public guys over, and it would make a massive difference, not just football, but in a lot of the other programs. So my point, though, is it depends on where you sit. And the reason I love what Dabo did is I don't care where you sit. No one that heard that rundown and that timeline of how that played out that's not involved in either of those two schools thinks that that's good for the sport. It's not good for the sport. Everybody would agree with that. Do you agree? I don't even – if he'd have had the same rundown about Auburn, me and you may have argued. You may have defended Auburn and the need to go out there and do it.
I don't know that any of that's defensible.
I
would have been –
I think it's going on everywhere, honestly.
Oh, it's not. It ain't just Ole Miss. And
I agree.
It is everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar. I don't know that Dabo does. I mean, he has been so anti-portal. Now, they've had to go out and get some guys, or you just going to die. I mean, I hate to be that way.
Look at his last 3 or 4 years.
That's what I'm saying. So
not good results. I mean, he even had to change his perspective on that.
Right.
It says, how's there tampering when there are no rules to NIL and the transfer portal? At least none that are enforced. It's becoming a joke. I mean, there you go.
It ain't becoming a joke. It is a joke.
It's been a joke. And then now you're allowing players. Is it individual players that can put 2 logos on their uniform? Or does the whole team have the option to put 2 logos on their uniform?
I hadn't even – man, I'm so exhausted from it. I saw the thing when it came out, I think on Thursday or Friday, and I'm like, I don't even want to read it. I'm like, I'm just being completely honest with everybody. I just don't care anymore, man. Like, we all knew this was coming, and every little amp, let's just put them all over. Let's look like a NASCAR car or a Major League Fishing jersey, where there's so many logos on there you can't even see the numbers. I mean, that's just where we are with it. I just thought it was also comical, not laughing at the situation, but when Dabo was reading all that and they got into this and they were like, well, what about this? And Pete Golden, and the guy's response was, well, that's just what Pete Golden does. And he sat there and he kind of looked. And I'm like, man, it has just gotten to the point where who cares, right? They were called out by people at Clemson. They kept pursuing. They're like, okay, I hear you, but can you just get out of the way? I'm trying to talk to your players.
Well, let's go over what's going on in the last 12 months.
Let's do it in the next segment because we got to get to this last break. We come back, we got one final segment coming up here on the Auburn Blitz.
At Central Alabama Community College, we provide a quality education that will set you up for success. Whether you're pursuing a degree or advancing your career with technical training, CAC offers premier programs at 4 campuses in Alexander City, Childersburg, Prattville, and Talladega. From industrial, electronics to machining, our students are prepared for the workforce or further education. At CAC, you'll enjoy vibrant campus life, exciting athletics, and personalized support, all at an affordable price. Your future starts here at CAC. Apply today.
Bundle your home and auto and save money with State Farm's personal price plan. Contact State Farm agent Ron Carroll today at 256-378-6631 or visit him on Highway 280 in Childersburg. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer availability. Eligibility may vary.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
Central Alabama. This is our home. It's where we work, where we play, where we raise our families and grow old. And in the unfortunate event we become sick with cancer, thanks to UAB Medicine Russell Medical Cancer Center, this is where we heal also. We have invested in new technologies and expertise so that now we're able to treat all sorts of cancers and you never have to leave Tallapoosa County. UAB Medicine Russell Medical Cancer Center. Compassionate, convenient, collaborative cancer care right here at home.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
SignSource is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Buying a home or property can be the biggest investment of your life. The Wisdom Firm is licensed to close any property purchase in the entire state of Alabama. The office is on both Bent Creek Drive in Auburn and Highway 49 South at beautiful Lake Martin. The Wisdom Firm has you covered. Give Travis and his team a call at 334-826-0722 or check them out at www.auburnlegal.com for all your real estate closing needs. No representation is made that the quality of legal services is greater than the quality of legal services made by other attorneys.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Final segment of the show here on this Monday. We appreciate it so much. Brought to you by J. Smith Construction and Excavation. Call on them for all your industrial and residential work. They can help you out there. And then Sensagreen for air that is warm and clean for all of you right now. The carrier experts here in the state of Alabama. Tubb said,
great point here, by the way, Brett.
I think it came out better as far as waiting on. Yes, now that you knew what was going to transpire. Yes. Now, if Hugh Freeze had somehow won 8 or 9 ball games this year, which he should have, we wouldn't be talking about this. And we'd be sitting there going, well, now we're behind. But now, again, we were behind in the high school side. Now, all of a sudden, that doesn't mean as much anymore because of the portal and how you want to go and attack that. Yes, you're still going to recruit high school guys, but maybe not as many moving forward. So even since last summer, look how much has changed. Look at all the variables I just went through at a Tubbs point. If things would have done this or if things would have stayed the way it would have versus look at all the changes that makes this now really not as damaging as it could have been.
Which is the reason that I've been so blunt about my unwillingness to go and recruit a 5-star plus quarterback from the high school ranks.
But the caveat to your argument is what you also added the other day. You didn't know what 9 months, 10 months was going to look like down the road in the current setting. And what you're talking about right now in 9 or 10 months could be totally different.
Be changed.
Make sure you preface that.
Now, how could that change? Is for them to put something in place like you've asked for, which is sign some type of contract and you're obligated to stay at the school for 2 years.
Bingo.
Now, then you're an open free agent just like you are in the pros after that second year. And if you're worth $20 million a year, so be it. Whatever the number ends up being, then so be it. But right now, with the current setup that I sent you over a tweet that I saw, and I don't know if you can pull that up, Brett, but it was going on the 5-star plus quarterbacks and how many of them are still at the college that they signed with. And I think it was one out of 11.
One of 11.
It was one, and it was probably Keelan Russell.
Yeah.
It's at Alabama. I don't know that, but that's the only one that I can remember that was a 5-star plus guy that was one of the top ones in the country.
And stayed at Alabama.
Still there. I mean, they're all moving on. So why would you spend, it was another funny tweet yesterday. It was about how much money Auburn spent for that Mercer game. And it may seem crazy to you, but Auburn may have spent more money on Deuce Knight to play in that one football game than they did to bring Mercer over
to come
here.
up there.
And it's an interesting point. I think the person that posted that out there was probably being a little humorous by the way that they put it out there, but I bet they may be close to
It's probably not far off. Which
is wild. And not only that, the money that you did spend there was developing for somebody else you're going to have to play year in and year out. Makes it even worse. There
was a point this morning that I brought up with you, and I brought up with Jason, and Jason had not heard this either, but he said, man, I think you're right. It's going to take the NFL having one of these guys, go to the portal, go to the draft, not like what he likes.
No, yes.
Come back to college, and NFL goes, that franchise just lost a pick, man. And that's very damaging to this franchise because there's only so many rounds. And we poured a lot into that pick, and now I don't have a pick. What are you going to do for me? So the above are going to have to help the college, just like the NBA had to help college on these high school guys. And they're like, we're not taking any more of those. We're not taking any more Kevin Garnett's. Not taking any more Kobe's, although they worked out. But everybody's trying to jump from high school to pro, and they're like, no. College is like – and then it was the one-and-done thing, and I know things have changed, but at least the NBA put their foot down on that. The NFL, they're gonna sue these guys, man, if they harm these franchises. It's coming, and we know it's coming because look at what the NBA, look at Charles Bediako in the situation this weekend. And then another point, Randy, that Jason brought up is he said the next thing you're going to see next year is a guy's season's over, and there's playoff teams, and that kid's going to try to transfer that team for the playoffs, and they're going to grant him permission through a court injunction to let that guy go play. He said, it's coming. He said, remember I said it today, write it down. It's the next thing that you go, well, there's no way they'll pull that off. He said, just watch. Somebody's going to try it.
Well, and somebody's going to be willing to do it. And Nate Oates is proof positive of that right now. I mean, he's pulling a lot of minutes from somebody that's been on his roster and practicing with that team all year. I mean, let that sink in.
Yes.
No different than the transfer portal, no different than people bouncing all over the place down in the high school ranks. It's no different everywhere. It's the wild, wild west everywhere you turn right now. And I would be, I mean.
Isn't it crazy that I've had multiple coaches come up now, will not name any of them, but multiple across the state tell me I have to re-recruit my own kids every year.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yes, you do.
You want to talk about the word recruiting? Like, if you've got good players on your team, and it happens, I have had it told, you can ask Faith. You can ask her the conversations we've had with coaches in multiple sports. Coaches have said, man, love my kids. I got to make sure he stays here next year. Or I got to make sure she stays here next year.
And, hey, it's not only in this state.
No.
You know,
It
think
is
about
not on.
but like look at Thompson High School over the last couple of years.
Let me get out for let me get out for TV and let's finish our points here. That's going to wrap us up for TV here on the Auburn Blitz. We'll be back with you tomorrow for the same time, same place. Again, we appreciate it so much. For Randy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.